Hello everybody, it's the second episode to talk about the Jagriti Yatra. It's a journey that I'm doing in a train and I explain everything in the previous episode. So if you're interested about that, listen to the previous episode. I'm Camille Fitoussi, professional coach, and I'm doing this journey as a facilitator in a train with social entrepreneurs that the goal is to get inspired by model worlds, but I explained everything in the previous episode, and I want to share because today it was the brief day with all the facilitators. We are 75 facilitators in this train, and we was trained today. And brief about the Jagriti Yatra, and I want to share because I already have learned a lot, and I want to share what I kept from that day because it helps me to reflect first, and I think sharing is learning twice. So, and if it inspires you too, it's all good. So let's do it. The first things that I kept is about the purpose. We all have the same purpose. It's to contribute to a better future, and we have all the same willing. And then we share about why we are here, why we are doing what we are doing. And I can share my why. It's here, in the Jagriti Yatra, it's to learn from the others, to learn and to get inspired and to share also. And this is what I'm doing with this podcast too. And it's also about how to learn how everything is possible, like being 700 people. We are 700 actually, 700 people in a train all over India for 15 days. If that's possible, everything's possible. I want to experiment that. And I'm also here because I want to contribute to make a world better, and I think it's such a good place for that. So here am I. Here I am. And yeah. And we all share about the fun fact, and actually I was in the first group of people introducing themselves, so I didn't thought about a fun fact, but I can share it right now. It's never too late. My fun fact is I did a university exchange in New York City, and I decided to share a little apartment with 32 people for 3 months. And it was like a training for this next level of proximity, sharing a train with 500 people for 2 weeks. Okay, and few things that touch me and I kept with me and I want to share. The first one is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not just have an idea, is also the discipline to make it happen. And it's about how to find the good combination between flexibility and rules. And this is what we will experiment in the train, between change and discipline, flexibility and rules. Also, another thing I kept is think big. Like it's easiest to think small, but that won't attract people. Then it's hard to execute. So think big is paradoxically easiest to execute. Yeah, interesting. I like that. Also about innovation. Innovation is not just enough. It's not just create something new. It's also replicate and adapt to the context. like being inspired, understand what makes this model works, what could be improved, and how to adapt it in our context. And also about innovation, it's even easy to do things, but it's so much more difficult to persevere during years. So let's see what's happened with this podcast, how I persevere or not. Let's see. Okay, two last things to share. A girl asked to Shashank, was the owner of the founder, because we are all co-creator. Like, I understand how co-creation and cooperation is important in the Jacques Theatre, and I share these values so much, so that touched me. But so Shashank, the founder of the Jacques Theatre, a girl asked him what makes him such a good speaker. Like, he is actually, he's so inspiring. I feel that. I mean, I'm inspired by his model and by the way he shared it. And he answered that what makes him a good speaker is, first of all, is the willing to contribute, like, and find the place where you can contribute, or at least where you can be inspired to contribute. And about that, I just have to say something that I feel so much at my place, and like today, and I'm someone who doubt a lot about a lot of things, but I have no doubt at all about I am at the right place with the right people at the right moment, and I love this feeling. Okay, the second thing Shashank shared was being curious, ask question. And the third one was that being a good speaker is not about eloquence, it's about conviction. And that makes me think about a book I wrote by the founder of TEDx, and he wrote, focus on the message. Means, like, it's not about you when you are speaking, it's not about your fear, it's not about how the others will judge you, it's about the message. The message is more important than you. So focus on the message. And this is exactly what I'm doing with this podcast. I'm so scared, you cannot imagine. Like, put on the button to put my podcast online. It's really challenging for me. And in English, you cannot imagine how it is challenging for me. But I just feel like the message is more important than me. So let's do it, and let's see. I try to go over my fear of the judgment. And last things, but not the least. The doctor, the doctor of the train. Actually, he did a one-man show in Hindi. He just told us about fun fact in the previous yatra, and everybody like was laughing so much. I think he's such a funny person, but I didn't understand a word because it was in Hindi. But the only things I understand that this is that if you are depressed, go to the doctor. Okay, thank you for listening me, and see you soon for a next episode. Bye bye.